So this week, I wanted to review a Super Nintendo game I have never played, or even heard of, and just see where that would take me. So I pulled up a list of every Super Nintendo game, and I just scrolled until one jumped out. And surprise, a name like Kid Klown and Crazy Chase tends to catch your attention. Released by Kimco in 1994, you play as Kid Klown racing against a long-lit fuse set by Blackjack, a villain who's kidnapped a princess. Now, if that fuse reaches the bomb before you do, it blows up the path, the bridge, the road, basically anything between you and saving her. So you're dodging everything on your way to get there first. And yeah, it starts with the most cliche setup of all time, a kidnapped princess. But at least the game knows it. It leans into the absurd premise, breaks the fourth wall a couple times, piles on some slapstick comedy on top, and really sticks to that clumsy clown gimmick. So it's a little something different and I enjoyed it. But man, everything is out to get you in this game. Blackjack lays traps like Kevin from Home Alone. Stuff that'll trip you, blast you, or straight up light you on fire. And just like Harry and Marv, you're in a race and trying not to die in the process. And that's where that little HP bar in the top right's gonna come in. Every whack, zap, and flattening chips away at your health. Run out, and it's game over. And you only get 3 continues. No password system, 1 sitting, 1 clown, 1 shot. The game's short enough to finish in a session, but the length isn't the issue here. The difficulty is. It is a cartoon death trap. Cars, lava, sewer grates, falling rocks, icicles, everything but a piano falling from the sky. It literally feels like the Grim Reaper is around every corner. And your red HP balloons here are your only hope. They are rare, but you need them if you plan on surviving all this Looney Tune danger. You will see the abnormally long fuse from time to time as you play, but if it's off screen, your status is going to be tracked here on the bottom left. Now let's talk about the controls. You can choose a layout in the menu, but no matter what, they feel like you've strapped reins onto an untamed stallion. You've got down on the D-pad to run, up on the D-pad to slow down, a button of your preference to jump, and of course, left or right for steering. But once Kid Klown gets going, it's so hard to contain the chaos of that sprinting clumsy clown, especially with a limited view in front of you to see what's coming. The speed, limited visibility, the isometric view, and the endless gags, it's basically cartoon Final Destination. Now, that said, the controls are responsive. It's not clunky, and it listens to you. It's just that everything is happening so fast, and that limited perspective doesn't really help out. Thankfully, the graphics are clean enough to show your lanes clearly, and honestly, I was impressed. It makes the chaos manageable, and it suits a frantic Kid Klown sprinting towards a bomb. I'm not gonna lie, at first, I was overwhelmed and frustrated, but once I gave it a shot, locked in, I started having a blast. It's fast-paced, ridiculous, colorful, and genuinely fun. Now, along the way, there are going to be these balloons that Kid Klown can jump and grab onto. Some have HP, some will hurt you, but this is also where you're going to find one of 4 emblems you'll need to complete for each level. Each emblem is a card suit. I guess because the foe's name is Blackjack, we're sticking to a theme here, but that's not even how you play Blackjack. You feel like they'd be collecting numbers to equal 21 by the end, but you know what? We are not going to get stuck on logic at this point. If you don't collect all 4 emblems by the time you reach the bomb, you have to replay the stage, which is crazy. But thankfully, the ones you do grab carry over, so the only ones you have to recollect are the ones that you missed. Now that adds some light strategy. If the fuse is getting too far ahead, just focus on the balloons you can reach. Miss the first emblem? Not a problem. It'll be in a balloon near the start, so when you retry, just grab it, and then you can go full speed on the rest of the track. But good luck grabbing balloons while sprinting full speed and fighting for your life. But you're just gonna have to figure it out before you can continue further. The soundtrack? Clowny. But hey, it's not annoying. It's funky and weird enough to match the vibe, and importantly, it doesn't get old even after a dozen retries. And that's huge in this game. Also, big shout out to the animation team. Kid Klown has so many unique animations. I kept wondering what ridiculous thing would happen next. Spikes make him hop on 1 foot. He gets his underwear caught on trees when he runs by. It's endless. My personal favorite, in level 2, if you dodge Blackjack, he'll flail into the street and apparently get hit by a car off screen. Kid Klown stops, shrugs at the camera like, oopsie. I was just not expecting that. It's what Bubsy wanted to be, except this game actually pulls it off. The sprite work is excellent too. So much detail, so much expression. It's clear the devs made this a top priority, and it paid off. There are also bonus stages. Now, I only found 2, and both times I failed immediately One was air hockey, which was awesome but matched the difficulty of the main game, and I think these bonus stages unlock if you score high enough at the end of each level, but I didn't last long enough to confirm. There are 5 stages total, and I've only made it to stage 4 once, if that tells you anything about the difficulty. And each level ramps up the difficulty, and hear this, your health doesn't refill between stages. So if you limp to that finish line on stage 1, you're starting stage 2 with a limp. After going through the trauma of each stage, to not even start with a clean slate on the next one is insane. Also, some of the traps will knock you into another trap, which creates unavoidable combo damage. Meanwhile, while all that's happening, the fuse is gaining ground, so the solution here is, I guess, just don't get hit. But obviously that is way easier said than done. But honestly, that's my only real complaints, and for a game I have never heard anyone talk about, and that's pretty incredible. Now look, this wasn't a problem for me obviously, but if you're a veteran player, you can probably beat this game in 30 minutes. And for those maniacs out there, beating this game unlocks a harder difficulty. Godspeed, soldier. There's also a good ending if you don't use any continues. But let's be real, this channel's called Jake Dies Again for a reason, and I'm just hoping to make an average ending. Okay, one more nitpick. The balloons are supposed to help you, but sometimes they hurt you? This isn't just okay. This just isn't okay. Where is the grace? Where is the mercy? But overall, this game is really fun. I kept restarting and going again. I've been at it for days and I still haven't made it to stage 5, but I am not giving up. The only thing larger than my death count is my heart. And technically, this is a franchise. Kinda. Kid Klown has sequels, spin-offs, and weird reskins with different names. The lore is fuzzy, but the heart is here. With all the charm, style, animation, color, and cartoon danger traps, I'd say this one's a hidden gem, especially with a surprising decent soundtrack to back it up. And I have to mention, it has one of the best Super Nintendo title screens I've ever seen. Easily up there with the heavy hitters. So here's a game I played for the first time that 0 people online seem to talk about. And I had a blast. They nailed the clumsy, quirky clown angle. And you can grab a cartridge for under 20 bucks, and I highly recommend you do. Now, it's not top tier SNES, but if you go in with no expectations, you're in for a fun time. So if you liked that video, I made a playlist of all of my Super Nintendo reviews so you can watch them one at a time. All you gotta do is click here.